Jessie here from Tonkydale, and the greenhouse is popping with color. However, today we are taking a tour of our perennial department, and you're not gonna wanna miss it. I came upon this hat trick apple tree. It is an espalier apple tree, meaning it is trained to grow flat against a wall, just like this. And this apple tree is cool because it's a grafted apple tree. It has 3 varieties of apples on one tree. Science is cool. We have all Minnesota made varieties, the Honeycrisp, the Sweet 16, and the Zestar apple, all on this beautiful apple tree. The apple blossoms are insane this year. They were just buttoned up tight with our cold late start, and now they are just so excited to be here. The bees are ready to pollinate these trees, and with this variety, you only need 1 tree. You don't need a companion tree to do the pollination shimmy. So I'm super excited about this apple tree. It has my heart. Let's go on a tour. All right, we're here at the Blue Arbor. This is the gateway to our perennial department. We have a long, narrow path, and it's just gorgeous with the tree cover and that long view out on the horizon. One thing to note, our trees and shrubs are located in front of the arbor, and today that section's being blocked by this plethora of fresh product that just came in. We got so many amazing staff members. We're gonna get all this on the ground so it's easy to shop. Let's just see what came. I mean, I don't know, hard to resist Echinops. This is blue thistle. This blooms late summer. Yum, oh my goodness. We have Pulmonium ruby slippers. This one's probably called ruby slippers because of the red stem. So that's a Jacob's ladder variety. Looks like we got some hydrangeas here. Lytris. Big Daddy Hosta. He's looking like a little daddy. Peonies. Now we're in the heart of the perennial department where the perennials are loosely alphabetized, having shade-loving perennials on the right side and more sunny lovers on the left side. We have clematis along the back wall, and then some of our purple pots, which are a great starter size plant, behind them, along with our native plants. I think we must stop and admire the sedum, one of my favorite perennials. These plants are just givers. Their foliage is amazing. They're so strong and succulent. And then they bloom late summer, inviting all of the bees into the garden. We have some vines right here. This one is really amazing. This is the Miranda climbing hydrangea. She variegated, looking amazing. Hardy to zone 4. Climbing hydrangeas do like part sun, and it's just a really unique addition. Here we are in the purple pot section. So these are alphabetized purple pots. This is a great way to get started. The value you get in this purple pot is amazing. So patience is virtue, we know, and starting out with a smaller pot perennial is going to be a bit more economical. Perennials, their first year, they kind of hang out. Next year, they get a little bit bigger. By the 3rd year, you'll see them in their full potential. So it's really fun to just give perennials kind of the time that they need to get established. And year over year, you'll watch as the perennial garden changes. And it just gives you an opportunity to tweak and change, move plants, see how big they're actually going to get. And I think like a mix and match of some, well-established items, shrubs, trees, foundational plants with some of the smaller starters is a great way to go, especially if you're a beginner or you're kind of new to gardening. Ooh, this looks nice. Here we are in our Minnesota native plant sections. Native plants are really important because these plants grew up here. They grew up here and they know what they're doing. They're familiar with the landscape and they really thrive in our Minnesota summers. They also are a true resource for pollinators and wildlife, birds, everybody. So check out some of the native plants. They're a great addition to many gardens. I think a nice balance between native plants and cultivars is important. Cultivars are going to be more tidy and controlled. Native plants are going to get big and bold and wild, but really important for the ecology of our yards. This is our native Thalitricum, and isn't she pretty? Just lacy, lacy foliage. There'll be some pendulous flowers atop this lacy foliage, mid to late summer. Good for sun to part sun, and I just looking at this makes me happy. Wiry stems, lacy foliage, almost like a maidenhair fern, but then it's going to flower. Here we are in the perennial grasses section. I love perennial grasses. They start out a little slower in the early spring, but then when they get going, they just offer all season interest. The structure they give to the garden, the backdrop to some of the flowering plants, the movement in the wind, the seeds provide food for songbirds, and then winter interest as we go into the dark depths of winter. They do provide shelter and nesting places for our pollinators. Love you, love grass. Looks like we had a run on Monarda, but Monarda is not to miss. Doesn't look super interesting when you see it in the garden store, but probably one of my top 10 garden favorites for a sunny perennial bed. Having a stand of Monarda is so rewarding. One of my favorite things to do in the summer is to sit outside on my porch, drink coffee, and just watch the hummingbirds as they dance and play in the Monarda. A long season bloomer starting about midsummer, goes all the way to the end of August. And it's just so, I can't even, I'm so emotional. I can't even describe how much I love it. All of these Salvia are beautiful, a member of the mint family, another of our pollinator favorites. They're going to have different heights, long bloom time, and if you cut them back as they are finished, they will shoot out a second cycle of blooms for you during the summer. We can't forget to talk about hostas. Hostas still are an important staple, especially in shade gardens. They're not boring, they're not generic. They offer big, chunky leaves and foliage that add structure and interest to the garden, as well as lots of different shades of green, like light greens, you have white, you'll have bluish greens, big leaves, small leaves, ribbed leaves, and I mean, why not collect them all? I met a customer, I think last week, and they have 850 individual varieties of hostas in their yard. They've been collecting for decades. This year we brought some new and exciting evergreen shrubs into the store to kind of enhance our selection of foundational plants. You can see them kind of all here in this section towards the east end of our department. We have upright junipers, we have spruce. Oh my goodness. This is the weeping Norway spruce, but it's soft. These are cool. They kind of just grow down and they're like drapey and weird, but so interesting. You gotta at least come here and give them a pet. Oh my goodness. Feel that. We are in the hydrangea department. Hydrangeas are probably our most popular shrub that we sell here at Tonkadale. And there are 3 types of hydrangeas that are hardy here in our area, Zone 4. We have the Hydrangea macrophyllus, the big leaf hydrangeas. These are like your endless summer type hydrangeas. However, there are so many new varieties that are going to perform even better than that original endless summer blue hydrangea. We have Summer Crush, Bloom Struck, Seaside Serenade, Cape May, Seaside Serenade, Newport. How luxurious. Look at this one. This one's called Seaside Serenade Hamptons. What? That's not even real. Look at that gorgeousness. Another variety of hydrangea that we sell here at Tonkadale are the Paniculata Hydrangeas or Panicle Hydrangeas. They have big cone-shaped flowers, and you can get them in different heights. So there's going to be like the littles, so like little lime, little quickfire, and the bigs, like the original quickfire and the original lime hydrangeas. So make sure to read the tag and know your size, because you're going to either have a 4-foot hydrangea or a 9-foot hydrangea. These are amazing, super hardy, tons of flowers, and they just develop their color from start to finish, midsummer, all the way into the fall, providing winter interest all the way until early spring of the following year. Lastly are the hydrangea arborescens, which are the smooth hydrangeas, your Annabelle types, you know, those big white pom-poms you see everywhere. But you know what? Those old-fashioned varieties have been improved. There are compact varieties, there are pink varieties, there are more varieties than ever to enjoy in that smooth hydrangea category that tolerates a little bit more shade than your panicles or your macrophyllus. That might be more than you needed to know about hydrangeas today, but I think everyone really needs to know about hydrangeas. Oh my gosh, what do we have here? Look at this little doorknob. What? This is our perennial department info booth with some incredible resources for you to digest and take home. Deer and rabbit resistant perennials, salt tolerant perennials, junglone resistant perennials, Minnesota natives, hydrangeas 101, common perennial pests, drought and wet tolerant perennials, zone 2 and zone 3 hardies in case you live up north or are going to the cabin, planting new trees and shrubs, gardening for pollinators, rose care and pruning, common perennial diseases, and then our garden plans. These have been so popular. I mean, isn't that nice of us? We have a beautiful garden plan laid out for you. This is a full sun perennial garden. You obviously don't have to install the entire design. You could pick pieces of it, mix and match. We have a list of all the plants, and all will be available for sale at Tonkadale throughout the season. And then on the back are lists of substitutes in case some of those are not available. But you know what? We put a lot of love into creating these resources for you because we are obsessed with you guys being successful and just loving the gardens that you create and enjoying them year after year after year. So take advantage of these resources, ask questions of our perennial department staff. They are happy to help and they're real smart too. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed our brief tour of the perennial department. Thanks for watching and we'll see you at Tonkadale.